competitive horseman. I'm going to give you my last video here before I have to go home to work in old Red Deer, Alberta, here in Maricopa, Arizona for the last couple days. Alright, so my talk today is skipping over the games and getting to the circle, and then how does the circle pertain to the barrel pattern. So here's something that I want to tell you folks that not a lot of people would know this, and it's not a secret, they just wouldn't bring it up. So I rode with Cassie Mowry for a couple winters, and the first thing that she said when she crawled on my horses, let's just say we're going to the left, she said it feels like your horses are leaning at the barrel right here, like they're blocked off right here. So it's not only are we trying to get the ribs out of the way, you're going to really feel that if you aim your spur, like you don't have to put your foot back, but if you aim your foot kind of back there and think about this part too, the flank area, and getting it moved over and how that rounds them out, because think of it, the more rounder we get them here, the more it gets the nose, if we're going left, headed around the barrel without you even having to pull very much on your young horses, right? So really, and this is a kind of a pet peeve that I see. I see a lot of girls getting a ton of bend right here, and they're not working on this at all. So they got their horse really bent here, but this is doing nothing at all. So if you picture it, when you're on my big circle, when this is leaning in, think of it. So if I'm on this circle going this way and this is leaning in, where's it got my shoulders pointed? Out of the circle. So that's why you're holding your horses all the time, because you're holding them on the circle and you're not getting any body parts broke. So think of it too, is like if you're gonna go around that barrel and your horse is just in a little bit here with his flank, where's his shoulders? And you're gonna fight with that athletic turn. I'm big on athletic turns. It's called efficiency around the barrels, not the speed in between the barrels. All right, so getting efficient turns around the barrels, getting this roundness, okay? So if I'm going to show you a little demo here, when we tie this horse's head around, and Marianne, you're going to have to get up my butt so you can really see this. So not only does it start in the games, folks, but watch here when I lead this horse forward and I can tap these ribs out of the way. So see how that's kind of leaning in? Now see how I move that over? You can just move that over, and when you move that over, the nose gets softer. And then I don't hold the stick there, otherwise you're always going to have to hold it there. Just when it comes in, just kind of wave it at it, move it over, and see how round the front end gets when that gets soft. Woo. So I'm going to move on here. My camera girl's got to leave in half hour, so that's the part there that I wanted to bring up that is in my big circle. So here's the thing that some of you are probably struggling with that I'm also going to bring up. This, I have a soft, medium, and hard of everything that I got in spurs and bits. Just a snaffle bit, but this is for Cheryl that was kind of asking the question when she watched my black horse go around here in the last video, and she seen him going like that when I needed to pull his shoulders through the circle. I had my hard bit on. It's my most, so my snaffles are, they're either a smooth snaffle, a medium twist, or a hard twist, or small. Because here's the thing, you're gonna have, you want this to go better and faster and the horse to get the message, you're probably gonna get them a little pink in the corners of the mouth. Social media, probably not gonna like me saying that, but it's the truth. Because here's the thing, if you don't go there, think of it as, same with my spurs. I remember I helped some girls in Lethbridge there 15 years ago, and when I put these rock grinder rowels on, this one girl, she's like, wow, I can't believe how much easier it is, because her horse got the message. Instead of her using them little roper rowels, and her horse is kind of moving out of the way, and always picking on him because he just never got the message. It's the same thing with my bits. I will get them a little pink to where when I pull on that inside rein, that I'm starting to get them a little soft. And yes, it's natural. All horses, 100% of them are gonna raise up. That's natural for them to get away until they find out where to put that face when you pull on them two reins, right? Inside, outside. And remember, this outside comes along my hip bone when I'm coming through that circle. Direct support, it comes here because I'm grabbing that area on the outside of your horse. Right here is the motor to come through that circle. Same thing when you're leaving your barrel. You're gonna lift that front end up and you're gonna be grabbing them near the flank with that spur a little bit. I'm using the word grab to get that motor going to the next barrel, all right? So now we've addressed the flank area and how moving that out of the way is gonna get that softness and get them bent into that arc, okay? So then from there, I'm gonna get on and just show you in my circle how that works. So I'm gonna add this in. That is called lateral flexion, right? Because it's laterally. Eventually, which I do at the end of my circles every day when I get the round pen built, and then I get them emotionally soft to where I can pull on an inside rein, I'm gonna pull on two reins for a lap, just to show them what it's all about, to try and start getting that vertical flexion. Not only is the vertical flexion for athleticism, it also tells them cool off, slow down, use your brain, get athletic. All right? So here we are. Again, now if I do this little circle right here, which this here, guys, this little circle right here is here till the day we die. Because this is, look how soft he's got to get in the brain in order to make this arc. And to see how the spur, like you can even see how the spur is pulling, or my calf muscle, I'm at phase 1, it's pulling them ribs out of the way so that head can start to come around, okay? Not only is it good for the athleticism that we're going to need to go around the barrels, but it keeps them mentally cool. So when you guys are doing your big circles and it gets a little out of control, stop, pull their head around, get their bearings together, walk a lap, take off again, try your circle again. You can use this circle in Houston or Fort St. John. When you go to them places and you get in that arena to warm up and the band's setting up or whatever, this is right away when my horse gets a little emotional, I'm right to here. This is where I'm going. Get your bearings, get things sorted out, and then you're ready to take off. All right, so I'm just gonna do a little bit of the circle to the right, and you're gonna see me move these ribs out of the way. The round pen will be built pretty quick on this horse because he knows the circle, and then we'll talk about the barrels. All right, so here we go. Headed out of the circle. Notice how I got this vertical flexion built, and it also says slow down, get your bearings, and get quiet. I didn't use two reins probably till, like for that instance, probably 60 days into my program. Look, awesome. Where's he going? Oh. emotional part starting to leave, and I can start working on flexion. Where's he going? See how he's headed to that fence? Every time he heads out of that circle, he gets his outside shoulder pulled on. Now I'm going to start working on the inside rein. Hold, hold, softness, softness, let go. See, now I can start working on the physical, because he's not running away. Move them ribs out of the way. The flank area, softness. The other thing I haven't mentioned, I might canter the circle for 10 minutes before I get a little change. 3 or 4 laps is not going to do it, or 10. You ask anybody, they say, Joe's out there cantering circles all the time. Now I can pull on 2 reins and say, get your bearings, let me drive you up into the bridle, and get soft. Okay? Look how nice that is now. I'm gonna need that same thing coming into this barrel. See how I'm moving shoulders around, pulling the nose around? Nice. All right, now get behind that second barrel, Marianne, and I'm going to show them how the circle pertains to the barrel. Right there is good. So there's like 3 parts to the barrel. There's the approach, the backside, and the leaving. So here's my approach, straight line, don't let them wander that way either. Move them shoulders over, start your ribs over. Roundness on the backside, sit down, and finish that turn by pulling them shoulders through the backside of that barrel. So here's the thing that I wanted to bring up. I've been sleeping on this so you guys know. If you get coming into this barrel, this is the good thing, and this, see, if I'm got this nose, I'm trying not to bend the nose, I'm worried about the ribs. But when I start releasing that foot, look how it lets him finish the turn. The foot is releasing a little bit, and that tells him when he can start to keep finishing the turn, right? If this foot stays in him, look where I'm going. I'm going to the house, right? So this foot is the trick here, is not only is it in your big circles, because think of it, on our big circles, when I'm working on flexion, inside rein, I'm driving him forward. This foot is keeping him from going in the middle of the circle, from following his nose. So when I go in here, I'm moving the ribs out of the way, and I'm telling that, look where my hand's pulling. My hand's pulling up to my armpit. You look at 90% of the pictures, where's the hands going? Like that. Look at how it flattened the ribs out. And now your horse, it can't finish the turn because you flattened the ribs out by going like this. Watch me. These rein is coming up to my armpit, and this foot keeps him going around. When I release this foot, roundness, 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 release the foot, go to the next barrel. So that's what how your big circle is pertaining to your little circles, is that not only is it working on softness, but it also is the trigger to tell them when they can start following their nose a little bit. That's why I always tell, ride with your core. And that's why the bits, you don't have to go to the Western store looking for what they call lift bits and all that kind of stuff. It's right here. With these nice rock grinder rowels, and get these ribs moving out of the way, move your horse over, start that arc. And you can, in my slow work, I'm trying to get them to kiss their tail. I want that much bend. Now, I will start to flatten them out according to the horse. If he's getting too Gumby-ish and I can't control the shoulders because they're wandering, then I'm gonna not bend them quite as much, okay? So, last but not least, when I'm cantering around here, I'm gonna do this at a canter, and my horse gets out of control. Watch how I'm gonna use vertical flexion to say, get calm, get your bearings, get athletic. Get calm, get athletic. Get calm, get athletic. Get calm, get athletic. See, not the greatest demo in the world for that. This horse only got 40 days around the barrels, but see, get calm if need be. When this gets good, see, here's the other thing I'm going to bring up. You're building a feel between the reins and you and this horse. There's no better kept secret than between horse and rider in this world. If they can feel a fly on their back, they can feel you, your littlest movements. So over the time, there's like, remember I told you before, -10 being really hard, +10 being really soft. You're gonna find on each individual what their preferred softness is that you can operate them in. So if this horse happens to be a +5, then I'm gonna try and feel that +5 in here. When he gets out of control and gets to an 8, I'm going to try and bring him back to a 5. Nice. Nice. Bring him back to a 5. Bring him back to a 5. Back to a 5. All right, so that's what you're kind of working on the whole time, because I'm being pretty advanced with you now. I'm telling you all my secrets. I'm getting right down to the training where we all want this, right? We want this softness. But I didn't start there. I started with the games to get the mental, then I put them on the big circle to get the emotional. Once I got the emotional, I got 1 rein, physical. Now we're working on the physical. And then over time, it's 2 reins. You don't start with 2 reins. That's why my whole thing has always been, don't hang on to your horse. Let them go, build your round pen, 1 rein at a time, and then we're gonna go to 2 reins, because now I am on 2 reins, and I don't want him stiffing me because he doesn't know what to do with the 2 reins. All right? I said a lot here. Play it back and forth. Get this good. Any questions, guys? I love your comments. I love to hear, good, bad, or otherwise. Likes and shares is how I get paid. I'm not getting paid nothing for this. So I know that you're liking my stuff when I get the likes and shares. Other than that, again, thanks Marianne and Billy for the place and their horses. Competitive Horsemen on YouTube. all one word on Instagram, Competitive Horseman, Joe Butterfield Facebook, or Facebook business page, Competitive Horseman. Thank you.